Welcome to Help the Helpers this beautiful Monday morning here in New York, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. We're so happy to have this really international exploration of the process model. It is so wonderful how all of us all over the world are taking this book, this text, and seeing different things in it, like a kaleidoscope. And we're going to be doing that this morning. And we've been preparing for this session for a long time, seeing that we could have translation and that we could all be together and look at the process model together from different places. And Katerina is going to introduce our guests.
Yes, we're so honored to have Hideo Tanaka. Many of us remember that he presented at the Focusing Institute last year at the Gendlin Symposium. And today he is together with Yoshiko Kosaka, who is interpreting. Hideo Tanaka, Ph.D., is a lecturer at Kansai University, Japan. He has been focusing for over 30 years. He spoke with Eugene Gendlin about the background of experiencing and the creation of meaning. Gendlin 1962-1997 in a TAE workshop in New York in 2004. He completed his master's degree with Professor Naohiko Mimura, studying Gendlin's philosophy. He completed his doctorate with Professor Akira Ikemi, studying Gendlin Psychology. He received the Incentive Award of the Japanese Association for Humanistic Psychology in 2021. He has been invited to be presenter. He was and did present at the Focusing Highlight supported by the International Institute, a featured speaker at the Gendlin Symposium 2023. And our interpreter today, Yoshiko Kosaka, Ph.D., is a certified focusing-oriented therapist. She has interpreted Rob Parker's seminar for Japanese and conducted online seminars in collaboration with Laurie Rappaport. Hideo is confident in her understanding of focusing and Gendlin's philosophy. And many of us know Yoshika from the many classes with Rob Parker long ago and now. We have been asked that we please give pauses when we speak. We could speak slowly. The more important point is to pause after a few words, and that helps the interpreter with her translative memory. But it's very, very interesting having these translations. We can listen to the rhythm of the sound if we don't know the language. And we ourselves, when we speak, we remember to pause, and we might remind you.
中さん、今のは、ちょっと話すときに間止まって、別の言語のリズムとかを聞いてみましょう。話す側にとってもポーズは大事ですよねっていうところで。
りがとうございます。なんとなくわかりました。
Okay. So I will sometimes translate in Japanese to Hideo, or I will help you translate or communicate with Hideo. Thank you for taking calls.
Thank you, Yoshiko. I think we're ready to begin.
May I?
じゃあ、
Yes.
始めても。
Thank you very much for your introduction, Katerina and Lynn. And hello, everyone. I'm Hideo Tanaka. Thank you for joining me. I'll get right to it and share my PowerPoint screen with you. Wait a second. Yoshiko, do you see a screen with only a picture?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you for waiting.
Thank you for waiting. Incidentally, this picture is called the Great Wave of Kanagawa. The Kanagawa region in Japan is my hometown. Now, let us move on to the main topic.
Okay.
The title of my presentation today is Focusing Practice and a Process Model. Most of you probably know my name from the publicity on Help for Helpers, but most of you probably don't know much about me. So I would like to give you a brief introduction of myself. I began practicing focusing as an undergraduate student in 1994. Now I'm a certified focusing trainer. However, I do not provide psychotherapy under a therapeutic contract. I have also an important announcement. Although this presentation will be given while reading from a manuscript, my English is not good enough for a free verbal conversation. Therefore, I have asked my research colleague, Dr. Yoshiko Kosaka, to assist with interpreting during the Q&A session. Introduction. As you all know, Eugene Gendlin was a psychotherapist known for his book, Focusing and Focusing-Oriented Psychotherapy. Meanwhile, he was also a philosopher known as his books, Experiencing and the Creation of Meaning, abbreviated as ECM, and a process model, abbreviated as APM. Gendlin's early philosophical masterpiece, ECM, was written with psychotherapy as its primary field. In this book, felt meaning, the equivalent of later felt sense, was the primary terminology. Therefore, although this book was written before he advocated focusing, it is beneficial and often successful to try to understand the book by applying our own experiences in focusing sessions as example of his arguments. On the other hand, Gendlin's later philosophical masterpiece, APM, deals with all living processes, including plants, animals, and humans. The majority of the discussion in the book examines the living processes before our felt senses formed. Therefore, even though he wrote this book in parallel with focusing-oriented psychotherapy, many people probably experienced that if they try to understand what they experienced in focusing sessions by simply applying it as an example to the book's discussion, you will only fail and end up with a fruitless result. That being said, there is no doubt that APM is a work that forms the basis of focusing practice. Chapter 8, the book's final chapter, describes many focusing practices. In my opinion, understanding the differences between the discussion in chapters 7 and 8 will help in the practice. Therefore, this presentation will focus on a topic: emotion and felt sense. Emotion and felt sense. In Gendlin's book, Focusing Oriented Psychotherapy, two kinds of feelings are distinguished. Emotion is recognizable and easily named. On the other hand, felt sense is not clearly recognizable and not clearly categorized at first. His distinction between emotion and felt sense became increasingly important. First of all, I will review the history of the distinction between them. Next, I will examine how what is discussed in a process model corresponds to the practice of focusing. Finally, I will point out that, despite the distinction between the two types of feelings, they are seen as a continuum in practice. In a process model, the term direct referent is preferred over felt sense. Some people strictly distinguish between the two terms, but in this presentation, I will treat them as synonyms. This is because I want to emphasize the continuity of his argument in his other papers, outside of a process model. In a process model, emotion is discussed as one of the 7 sequences before felt sense or direct referent is formed. Of course, what I felt was anger, but that is too simple. Emotions break back, as we saw in 7. That is to say, they don't usually carry forward or meet the whole situation. First, I would like to trace how Gendlin distinguished between direct referent or felt sense and emotion. In the early 1990s, he wrote that emotions narrow one's scope and make one miss some of a present situation. The reason for that narrowed scope was more convincingly discussed as follows. The cat's body ongoingly senses many things around it. It explores each thing and hears the slightest noise. But at certain cues, for example, a strange cat on its territory, the cat's body suddenly gets ready to fight. There is a huge physical change. Its tail is suddenly thick, its heart pounds, and the cat hisses. Its whole body is taut. Now it ignores much of the surroundings to which it usually attends so sensitively. Only with difficulty could its attention be distracted from the other cat. The scope of its attention is narrowed. The importance of forming a direct reference to call the whole of the situation is discussed in a process model as follows. Like anyone else, this specific person would be having feelings of chagrin, anger, and hurt. One has a tendency to go over and over these emotions and the situational context that goes with it. To let a direct referent form, the person has to stop going through these 7 sequences. It is a different activity which makes a pause in the usual activity. The different activity is sensing the whole thing as a whole. If I apply the APM text above, specifically to a focusing practice, the following conversation segment in paperback focusing would be appropriate. She needs this and she needs that, and no matter what I do for her, it isn't enough. All her family are like that. It makes me angry. Her father was like that too when he was sick, which went on for years. They're always negative and grumpy and down on each other. It makes me angry the way she is, the way they are. Yes, I'm angry. Damn right. It's a poor climate. Living in a poor climate. Always grey. Always down on something. The other day, when I wait, be a minute with your angry feeling. Just feel it for a minute. See what more is in it. Don't think anything. Not only in Focuser 1, but also in Focuser 2, I'm angry, always grey, and always down on something, and the focuser went over and over these emotions and the situational contexts. The statements in Focuser 1 and 2 could be rated as level 3, which is not very high on the experiencing scale. The listener had to make the focuser stop going through these 7 sequences, so the listener interrupted and encouraged the focuser to sense the whole thing as a whole by saying, see what more is in it. As we have seen above, Gendlin has clearly distinguished between emotion and felt sense over the years. Nevertheless, in practice, he is not saying that emotion should be eliminated to form a felt sense separate from it. In the conversation portion above, the listener is not saying other than it or outside of it, but see what more is in it. Our felt sense often contains emotions. Thus, one does not find a felt sense by avoiding or trying not to feel emotions. Rather, if there is already an emotion, one lets the wider felt sense form as something that can come with, under, or all around the emotion. The following passage seems to be an excellent example of how the emotion called sadness can trigger the formation of a felt sense. For instance, I feel sad. Why? Because my cat died. Wouldn't anyone feel sad if their cat died? With this truth, it may seem pointless to ask, exactly what is it about my cat dying that makes me feel so sad? And yet, in going deeper, you may find that guilt about not taking enough care of the cat is one component of the sadness. We can explain our emotions in terms of common phrases and patterns of situations, such as, I feel sad because my cat died. And perhaps it seems that this sort of event would evoke the same emotion in any person. And that is as far as an emotion goes and its limits, Gendlin points out. That is why we need to form a felt sense. The felt sense implicitly contains all that had made you sad, that sense of the whole situation, all that led up to it, and how it involves you. That is why we explicate what is implicit contained in it by asking in the 6 steps, such as, exactly what is it about my cat dying that makes me feel so sad? Conclusion. The contrast between emotion and felt sense was discussed as an essential issue in his practical and philosophical writings. While theoretically understanding the function and characteristics of both feeling is vital, facilitating a smooth transition from emotion to felt sense in focusing practice is also vital. Thank you very much for your attention. Katarina or Lynn, we would like to go into the question and answer period. So I will turn the microphone back to you once.
Good, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see who would like to ask a question or make a comment. You put your hand up.
Yes, anything that comes to you about felt sense and emotion.
I found a sense of time expanding when you said to us that the emotion moves to the felt sense.
Oh,
感情、情動がフェルトセ
はい。
ンスに移行していくときに、時間が膨らんでいくような感覚を覚えました。
Oh, I see. Thank you.
I think of the felt sense as the feelings in the feelings, the emotion, and then it goes narrower to the felt sense and broader at the same time. It's more particular and also larger.
フェルトセンスは、漢字の中の漢字っていうふうにも思って、
はい。
こう、すごく絞り込んでいくと同時に、すごくこう拡張して膨らんでいくのが同時に起こるような気がする。
はい。私もその、同時に拡張していくってところがとても今お聞きして印象に残っています。
He's impressed by hearing about it's expanding simultaneously.
例えば、初めて私が30年前に、ペーパーバックフォーカシングを読んだ時のことですけども、
I remember reading the focusing book of 1982, 30 years ago.
その出来事の全体がどんな問題なんだろうとかいうふうに、ホールって全体って言葉がよく彼のインストラクションの中に出てくるんですね。
There is, Gendlin often says, the whole thing, whole, feel the whole.
でもこれが何を意味しているのかっていうのが、ペーパーバックを読んだだけではよくわからなくて、哲学のテキストとかを読むと視野が狭くなるのに対して一度広げるっていうことを意図して言ってるんだっていうのが何か理解が深まった気が私はしています。
When he was reading the paperback, he couldn't get a sense of the whole thing. But when he read the philosophy of Gendlin, and he saw that it's meant to be expand the scope, the narrow scope, to wider one. He could sense what he was meaning in philosophy.
I'm appreciating this reminder to go deeper and wider, because I've been going through a lot lately, and the strong emotion is so present. You know, it's a good reminder to go with more than that. You know, what else? What is there? What's all of it? It's a good reminder. Thank you.
すごくいろいろ大変なことが最近あって、強い感情ってすごく目の前にドーンとあるので、この深めてで広げるっていうこのことを言ってもらえたのはすごく思い出すために大事なことだなと思いました。ありがとうございます。
Thank you. Thank you. And チャットメッセージでもなんかいただいてるんですかね。
Do we have anything in the chat? Oh, from Susan.
Yes, Susan says she would like to see those last two slides again. She writes, I found myself thinking about self in IFs, opposites that led to a third place in Jung and in somatic experiencing. She asked to see the two slides again, the last two.
小坂さん、最後のスライド。
最後の2つスライドを見せてください。
ちょっとじゃあ画面共有しますね。
はい。
She speaks about pendiculation in somatic experience.
Pendulation. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that was nice to see the slides, and we have the slides that we can refer to later as well.
これのことですかね。
I guess this is the slide.
At the apex is direct referent formation in chapter 8, the felt sense. And then the triangle goes down. There is emotion, the ordinary human experience, and gesturing in chapter 7. And in this rendition of the triangle. Then chapter 6, the animal's behavior, and at the base, living process in general, chapter 1 to 5. This is one picture that Hideo brings us today. And the Cassell has a question, and then Marvin.
Yes, I do have a question that actually Susan's question reminded me that I've been thinking about this a lot. And I've read some of both of the books, but not with much understanding, to be honest.
Maybe
But
pause a moment and let
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. これに、スーザンの質問を見て、これについて結構考えてきていたっていうことに気づいたんですね。
はい。
それぞれの本は読んでいたけども、それぞれを深く理解しているかはちょっとわからなくて、ということで。Okay.
Go
Yes.
on, please.
So, when you refer to emotion, the felt sense, or any other kind of experience or meaning, how does Gendlin speak about or name, or what is the experiencer?
What are the experiences are?
What is the experiencer? The one that experiences the felt sense, the emotion, or anything else. And yeah.
The person, the one who experiences.
感情、情動を体験するっていうことと、フェルトセンスを体験するっていうことが、一体どういうことなのか。
感情、フェルトセンスを体験する。一体どういうことなのか。
どういう体験なのかっていうこと。
同じ情動だと、エモーションだと、なんか、気がかりの対象を、それだけを狭く見ているような体験なんですよね。
One just see the object very straight in narrow view in
例えば、
emotion.
自分を、侮辱する人とかに対して、誰かが私を侮辱した。だから腹が立った。誰かが私を褒めた。だから嬉しくなったっていうふうに、あることに対するパターン化された感情が起こるっていう体験が、これがエモーションだ。
In experiencing the emotion, someone look at the person who insults you or the person who honors you, just narrowing to the person. But,
Yeah, but what is the person? Sorry.
You look at the really straight objects narrowly to that person who insulted you and talk about the repeating patterns with what happened with that person.
No,
それ、
I don't understand. Like, if I am doing focusing and I want to, yes, bring to my inner world a sense of, for instance, acceptance and friendliness in order for it to open and expand. Who or
Right.
what is that brings that quality?
Right, just right. そ
I
の
don't
フォー
and
カシング
saying it's the person doesn't answer the question at all.
Oh yeah, that's he was describing about when someone's experienced the emotion only, not the felt sense.
No, I mean anything that they experience. I'm looking for a description of the experiencer, the one who's having the experience of whatever it is.
Not with the distinction with the emotion and felt sense.
No,
It's the whole thing.
No.
no. The one that's able to make the distinction.
May I put in a word here? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Gendlin held the person always as this big mystery that we cannot say what it is. The person is not the felt sense. The person has a felt sense. But the closest that Gendlin ever came to a definition of the person is the one that looks at you through the eyes. And when you look, Kessel, if you look at me in my eyes, there's a glimpse of the person. I see the person in you as you smile. And that person goes way, way out to other places, to other generations. It's all in that big mystery that we're living.
May I translate?
Please.
田中さん大丈夫。
はい、お願いします。はい。
今の質問が、その感情と情動と、フェルトセンスの区別ということではなくて、人が体験するってどういうことかっていうことを知りたかったんだっていうことをカッセルさんがおっしゃってて、それに対してインさんが、ジェンドリンは人っていうものを、一つのものとして定めてはいなくて、いろいろなつながりの中にあるその人っていうのを見ているわけだけども、その人って言った時にその瞳の奥のその人、今ここであなたを見つめているその人っていうのを言っていて、なおかつその人っていうのはいろんな人生の歴史の中の一部であって、全部がつながっているんだっていうことをおっしゃっていました。
リンさんありがとうございます。私も理解が深まりました。
Thank you. I could understand more about of this.
Yeah.
Marvin has his hand up.
So could I just say one more thing? Or maybe I'll leave it. I mean, it's a big question for me.
すごく大きな質問なので、このままにしておこうかなとも思っていますが、ちょっとだけ言いたいです。このままにしておく感じ。Yeah.
わかりました。Next question.
Thank you, Professor Tanaka. I'm trying to have a better understanding of the term felt sense, because when I'm trying to understand it, it leads me to movement, and movement to either contraction and expansion or displacement.
Expansion or displacement. Displacement of
from one point to another.
I see. フェルトセンスという言葉の意味を少し詳しく知りたいんですけど、フェルトセンスといったときに、マーウィンさんの中で動き、ムーブメントが出てきて、で、ムーブメントとしては拡張していく感じだったり、一つのところから一つのところに動く、移動するっていう感じが出てくるんです。
はい。という感想だったんですけど、それとも話の続きだったのかな。
Yeah, please go on if you have. Or is that the whole question? それで全てだそうです。 そんな感じ
わかりました。
で合ってますかねっていうところもあるかな。
多分、私も、見解は近いと思います。
He has the similar point of view. Is that?
Thank you. Thank you.
This, hi,
Sophie?
Sophie.
Yes.
This definition or this trying to capture the first sense as a movement, right? Expansion, contraction, displacement, I think it was just called. Um, I'm 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 associating it to life because, well, I'm not sure life exists without movement. Maybe actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm thinking of mountains or rocks. And maybe we don't see the movement and there is a movement, like in trees. It's just a very different pace. I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you. 今、そのフェルトセンスっていうものをもう少し考えたいんですけど、今ね、動きとして拡張させたり、縮まっていったり、動かしたりっていう風な表現が出たけれども、自分としてはこう人生と関連させて考えたい感じがしていると。
はい。
で、例えば山とか岩とか木っていうのを考えたときに、動いてるように一見見えないけども、すごくゆっくりしたそのペースで動いてるようにも思うんだっていう。Okay.
はあ、なるほど。
Would you like to go on?
Well, well, there is a resonance with the pace today, which for me is much better. Yeah, we slow down because of the transition, but there is much more space for felt sensing and understanding from this perspective. So it feels like today we are enacting the core of, or one of the core aspects of the philosophy.
Great. Thank you. 今ね、今日のこのゆっくりしたペースに共鳴するような感じもあって、
はい。
このゆっくりしてるのが、自分にとってもいい。通訳のためではあるんだけども、自分にとってもすごくいいし、こうスペースが生まれてくるような感じがする。で、それが、っていうか、この哲学のこの一側面を実際に実行に移してるみたいな気もするって。
はあ、素敵な感想なんか聞いて嬉しいです。私も普段がどうかはわからないですけど、このゆっくりしたペースっていうのは、とても私も今心地がいいです。
Thank you for the beautiful description.
うん。
And he also feels really good with this slow pace. Yeah. Thank you.
And we have Lynn, and Liz has her hand up. And Liz.
I wanted to suggest, after what you said, Sophie, that we take a moment and welcome the emotion of this presentation. You know, if somebody says, how is it? How was it for you? And then you would say something. It was relaxing. It was difficult. But allow the emotion and then ask, what more? What's in all of that? And see if there's an image or a metaphor of the whole feeling of this presentation, this event, this living that we're experiencing together.
ソフィーが言っていたことを聞いて提案したくなったんですけども、この後に少し静かな時間をとって、この話を聞いてどんな情動が生まれてきたかを少し言葉にしてみましょうよ。で、その後で、それにそこ以上の何があったかを問いかけてみて、この全体についてのフェルトセンスというか、感じとして、なんかイメージとかメタファーが出てくるか見てみるのはどうですかって。
いいですね。じゃあ、そうすると、リズの質問はその後ということで、まずは、リンさんの提案にまずは従った方がいいですかね。
He's thinking of Liz asking question. Shall we go on to the experiential first? Or
Liz had her hand up also.
Liz の質問を
I
先に
know
行き
it's
ましょう。
important for me to feel who is in there, as Cassell was saying. And it's interesting that we can find it in another, the one in there, but the question of who is doing all of this in us remains elusive.
Yes.
最初のカッセルさんが言ってた質問とつながるんですけど、その中に誰がいるのかっていうところがすごく気になる。で、この体験をしていても、誰がそれを体験しているのかっていうのを感じてみたいし、大事だと思ったっていう。
そうか、わかりました。
Yeah, he understands.
そうすると、じゃあ、リンさんの一度提案に移った方がいいんですかね。
Shall we go on to experience it first? Shall we guide or can we just pause and feel the emotion first?
あるいはカタリーナの提案だとブレイクアウトルームに分かれてシェアするっていうのも選択肢としてあったんですよね。
I see. We can go on to the breakout room and then share our emotions and then continue with asking what's more in it.
How long should we have the breakout rooms?
どのぐらいの時間、ブレイクアウトルームに行きましょうか。
Till 9:30 or 9:25?
10時半ぐらいまでか、
何分ぐらいがいいですかね。時間が、ニューヨークタイムがわからないので
1時間前で午前中っていう感じみたい
ああ、
かな。
そっか。じゃあ、 あと15分か20分ぐらいブレイクアウトルームっていうのでいいかもしれませんよね。
15 minutes or a little more might be appropriate.
Good, good. So that would be 9:30. We will come back.
Right.
私と小坂さんはブレイクアウトルームには入らないでいいですかね。それとも小坂さんと私はブレイクアウトルームで一緒とか、あるいはブレイクアウトルームに入らない。
Hideo and I can stay.
Jim, Katerina recognized that your hand was up, so we want to hear what you were going to say. But we'll wait.
But she lowered my hand. Didn't you, Katerina? Somebody lowered my hand. I certainly didn't do it. I thought I was being rejected.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But that's just
誰かが
the seven sequence slotted feeling, with the feeling of rejection.
That was chapter 7.
Right. In chapter 8, I learned that part of me didn't want to ask the question.
Exactly.
Can I translate? 今、誰かが私の手を挙げた、取り下げちゃったんだそうです、さっき。で、私、その時は、なんか、拒絶されたって感じたんだけども、
はい
それは、7章のスロッテッドな連続の感情だ。で、全体を感じた時に、私の中の一部がそれを質問したくなかったのかなって思った。
ああ、すごい。素敵なコメントですね。
Wonderful comment. Thank you. And
Welcome back, everybody. And we're going to start with Jim's question that he didn't get to ask before the breakout room. And then we want to hear from all of you about how your breakout room was.
もちろんジムさんの質問を聞いてから、
I'm
ブレイクアウト
raising
ルー
my
ムどうぞ
hand just to be doing the right thing.
ただ正しいことをするために手を挙げています。
So my question went like this, that the feelings we talk about in chapter 7 are called slotted feelings, that they fit into a slot because the culture kind of prescribes them. If you have a cat and your cat dies, and you throw a big celebration, then the culture is going to condemn you. You don't celebrate when your cat dies. That's not culturally correct. The correct cultural feeling is to be sad. All right. Now,
Jim,
Translate.
maybe you pause.
Thank you.
Pause.
Thank you. 感情について7章で話す、そのスロットに入った感情っていうのは、文化的に許される感情のことなんじゃないかって。猫が死んで喜んでたら、それは文化的に許されなくて、悲しいっていうのが正しいとされている。Okay, thank you. Please go on.
But the next step is to feel guilty for not taking as good care of your cat as you should have, perhaps. But the culture already has absorbed that reaction as well. So even that is a slotted feeling by now.
その猫が亡くなったことでちゃんと世話をしてなかったんじゃないかって罪悪感を感じるっていうのも、ある意味文化的にはもう許容されているものでもあるかもしれない。
So the next step, which maybe you have to focus to do, but maybe not, is to realize that you feel guilty because it's easier to feel guilty than to feel the loss of control, that you couldn't stop your cat from dying, if it's your fault, that actually feels better because you're in control at least, even if your cat died. While if you can't control whether your cat lives or dies, then you have this horrible feeling that things go on that you have no control about.
Yes.
その、猫が亡くなったことに罪悪感を求める方が、こう、まだマシなのかもしれない。それが自分の、少なくとも自分のコントロールの中にあると思えるわけで、それをもう取ってしまうと、もう自分がその猫が亡くなるってことに対してどうすることもできないっていう、より辛い感じを味わうことになっちゃうからかもしれない。
And then you can have even more feelings, or you can focus and come to understand that you have contradictory feelings about your cat dying because you were unable to go on vacation while your cat was alive because you always had to worry about who's going to take care of the cat. But now you can go on vacation.
さらに矛盾した感情も出てくるかもしれない。猫の面倒を見てる間は旅行に行けなかったのに、猫が亡くなって旅行に行けるようになってしまった。のも出てくるかもしれない。
And then you can feel guilty about that.
その感情が出てくることについての罪悪感が出てくるかもしれない。
But in the end, what your actual direct referent is depends on the person.
で、最後に出てくるその直接参照体っていうのはその人によると。
その人による。depends on the person.
And there may be all these steps involved as you shift from one to another.
で、その一つからその次へってシフトしていくのによるかもしれない。
So that's all I wanted to say.
それが言いたかったことのすべて。
Question. Did you have a question about it?
質問があったのって。
If I raised my voice in certain places, those would have been questions. I just didn't.
Okay.
声出したところが質問だと思っています。
確かに。direct reference になると、it depends on the person っていうの、人によるっていうのは確かにそうだなっていうふうに思いました。
Yeah, it depends on the person when it goes on to the direct reference. And he agrees with that.
Now, Cassell is going to ask who this person is.
その質問として、そのパーソンが、人が誰だったのかっていうのがありましたよねって。
Jim, I would love to know about the larger whole for this, the larger living process. Is it powerlessness of power, for example, holding both? So that you get to this larger whole.
Yeah.
Let's pause so Yoshiko can translate.
そのコントロールできないかもしれないっていうことについて、そのより大きくなった自分みたいな、それより大きな自分がいるんだっていうのを忘れなくているのもいいことなんじゃないか。
むしろ私の方が勉強させてもらってる感じです。
Oh, now I'm studying more.
And Victor and Lynn both to speak. Victor?
I would, could you please elaborate a little bit on what's the difference between felt sense and direct reference? I think we all understand felt sense, but direct reference, only those people who read the books, I think. Why direct reference? Why use this term? And what's the difference from felt sense?
フェルトセンスについてはみんなわかるけども、なぜディレクト直接参照体という言葉を使うのかとか、 フェルトセンスとの違いっていうのをもう少し詳しく教えてもらえませんか？
まあ、その質問に対する回答者が私が適任かどうかはちょっとわからないんですけど言ってみますね。
I'm not sure I'm the right person to answer that question, but I will try.
あの、direct reference って言った時の方が、ジェンドリンの論述が非常にすごくクリエイティブなことを長い時間かけて考えるとか、感じ取るっていうことを言ってるような気がします。
クリエイティブなことを長い時間かけて考える。
時に direct reference にリファーしているっていうふうに使っているような、多いような気がします。
In his understanding, Gendlin uses more on direct reference when he's thinking about something more creative.
例えば、ダンサーのイサドラ・ダンカンの話が出てきたり、アルバート・アインシュタインが20年かけて相対性理論を出したっていう時の、そのじーっと一つのことを、余計なことを考えないで、じーっと漢字に触れ続けるっていう時に、direct reference っていう言葉を使ってる気がします。
そういう例の時にってことですね。
はい。
Well, Gendlin refers to the instances when someone is thinking deeply and directly to find something more creative, like Isadora Duncan or Albert Einstein thinking about the theme.
フェルトセンスの方がもっと日常の気楽なことに使える気がして、これからランチ行くときにイタリアンにしようかチャイニーズにしようかって考えるのはフェルトセンスで考えるけど、その時にイタリアンかチャイニーズかをディレクトレフェレントに問い合わせるっていうふうにはあんまり言わないかもしれないです。
Gendlin refers to felt sense in more daily life, like someone is wondering which lunch someone should take, like Italian, Spanish, referring to the felt sense, not the direct reference.
Okay, thank you. That's enough for me for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wanted to just bring the psychotherapy into it for that distinction. When the client was expressing the emotion, anger or sadness, he would say, "Is that here right now? Is it present?" And that was the direct referent of, "Oh, it's here. I can feel it." So I just wanted to bring that in. But I wanted to say to Jim that issue is such a complicated and interesting one that the felt sense opens and opens and opens from one feeling to another. But then there's also something about it all is that person. It's all that one person. And everything depends on the mystery of the complexity of that person. So even though we may have all of these emotions that society has shown us, we'll find the one that expresses who I am.
Can I translate? 最初の部分で、リンさんが言っていたのは、その情動とフェルトセンスの区別を心理療法の中でするときに、その悲しみ、今ここで胸のここで感じてますかね、ここにあるかなって見てみるときに、これはディレクトレファレントの直接参照しているんじゃないかってことが一つと、 さっきのジムさんの例ですごく複雑だけど、いろんな漢字が出てきて、さらにその次の漢字が出てきてっていうのを次々と行くときに、そこの中にはその人がいるんじゃないか。で、その人っていうのはやっぱりいろんな歴史やつながり、文化の中で出てきているその人なんじゃないかということでした。
ありがとうございます。
Lynn, I wanted to ask Masumi a question. Is that okay?
Please, I was just thinking about Masumi.
Masumi, can you ask Shoji if it's okay if I share what he said in the group? Is that okay? Or if he wants to repeat it about the ice and the emotion?
土江さん、あなたがおっしゃった氷と水のことを他の方と共有していいですかって、他の人にも伝えていいですか？
どうぞお願いいたします。英語で
Yes,
お願い
please.
します。
He's willing that you would do it.
Okay, so Shoji said something, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name, but said something really beautiful about emotion because we had a good discussion about emotion. He said, and please correct me, Masumi, if I get this wrong, but emotion is ice, felt sense is water, focusing is the process of ice melting to become water. And I found that really beautiful, and I just wanted to share it. I hope I got it right.
For sure. I think you said beautifully. Yes.
Let me translate. 土江さんがおっしゃったのが、感情動が氷のようなもので、フェルトセンスが水で、フォーカシングは氷を水に溶かしていく作業なんだっていうふうに言っていたというふうに今話した。
Would you say it one more time in English? Right. Focusing is the what?
Sorry, I just wrote this down. Sorry, I just got a message just as I was saying it. Okay, so Shoji said very beautifully, emotion is ice. Think of emotion as ice, felt sense is water. Focusing is the process of ice melting to become water. I can put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat just as I wrote it down.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I think it might be time for Dorothy to read our poem.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say thank you again. This is a beautiful experience.
Thank you, Shoji. He is also a colleague, also my colleague.
Can I say one more thing? Because that's my habit. It's so quick. I was looking at a YouTube video of the cellist Yo-Yo Ma. He is playing the first part of a Bach cello suite. And in the video, he says he has his whole life had trouble playing this piece of music, how to start it. And the video is of him playing the piece along a stream. And he said he solved the problem. He listens to the music of the flowing water, and then with his cello, he continues. So he doesn't start. He just continues the flow of the stream with Bach's music. It seems so much of what you were just saying.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
今言ってたことにフィットするなと思ったのが、そのヨーヨーマがバッハのチェロスイートを演奏するのがすごく難しくてどうしたらいいかわからなかったけれども、今度バッハの音楽の流れに従って、それに続いて演奏を始めるっていうので、できるようになったというか、問題が解決したんだっていうふうに、ヨーヨーマが言っていたのを思い出しましたって。
私もヨーヨーマのYouTube はよく見ていて、バッハのチェロスイートをよくビデオで視聴してるんです。
She's watching, he's watching the Yo-Yoma's YouTube very often.
だから、
Loves it.
すごく、聞いててなるほどと思いました。
He gets the sense, oh, it makes sense to him.
This whole idea of like translating and giving us the pause, oh my goodness, it's like so valuable. It'd be so hard to do this for ourselves to have that length of time, but like it's like this gives us permission to have that long pause. And it's just been a wonderful experience in itself. That what Hideo shared with me to share with you is these are the original lyrics of a famous Japanese pop song, which topped the charts in a number of countries, including the US. It was the Billboard Hot 100 in 1993. Although the English title was Sukiyaki Song, is that right?
Yes, right.
Sukiyaki Song. The actual Japanese lyrics have nothing to do with the Japanese dish sukiyaki, and the true English translation of the Japanese title would be I Look Up as I Walk. So here we go. I look up as I walk so that the tears won't fall, remembering those spring days. And tonight, I am all alone. I look up as I walk, counting the stars with tearful eyes, remembering those summer days, and tonight I am all alone. Happiness lies beyond the clouds. Happiness lies above the sky. I look up as I walk so that the tears won't fall, but the tears well up as I walk, for tonight I am all alone. And Hadoki, are you okay with sharing the singing?
Yes.
Because that was so beautiful.
Yes.
小坂さ
歌え
ん、これは
ますか？一緒に歌ってくれますか？まあ、日本の方一緒に歌うんだったらそれでもいいですし。
じゃあ、私歌います。
お願いします。Yeah, he will sing the song.
Great.
上を向いて歩こう。涙がこぼれないように思い出す。春の日、一人ぼっちの夜。幸せは雲の上に。幸せは空の上に。上を向いて歩こう。涙がこぼれないように泣きながら歩く。一人ぼっちの夜。Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Bye-bye now, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Right.
Thank
Thank
you, Tanaka-san and Kosaka-san. That's beautiful translation.
Thank you.
Very poetic, very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Please give a round of applause to Yoshiko Kosaka for excellent interpretation.
Yes, yes.
Mm.